Good morning. It's Tuesday, February the 11th, 2013. I'm going to record the session this morning live. It's 9:29. The market will open in a minute or so. This is our stock pick panel here on the left side, which all of our members get each morning. As you can see, there's no signals in the display column here as yet. The signals don't start to appear until after this first 5-minute candle is formed. I'm not going to explain what everything is and how everything works here. You can go to the website at livestocksignals.com and everything is explained there. Now, as you can see, the market is just open. I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I possibly can, so I'm going to be putting it on pause quite a number of times as the trading session develops. Okay, it's 9:35. The first signals are starting to appear. As you can see, during the first couple of minutes or so after we get these signals here, they do jump around quite a little bit here. You'll see we've got the go long signals always rise to the top of the chart. It makes it very easy. We got SPWR. We've got a buy signal. Whoops, where'd I? At 940, 944. One above whatever it shows here. It's greater than 943. Netflix is getting ready to trigger here. For those that play the higher price stocks, they're a little bit above my comfort level, but we do have traders in here that like that will take this trade, I'm sure. 182.96 will be the buy here. And we'll just plop through here. INVN is another one ready to trigger. Okay, we've got what, 8 on the buy list, 8 or 9 on the buy list. FSLR is another one. This one's more in my price range right here at $32.99. I like FSLR, and I've got an order in right now on that one at $33. Okay, I'm going to put it back on pause. And as you can see, FSLR triggered. I'm on this at $33. So far, so good. And I also got on AOL. AOL, as you can see, was the number 3 on the list here. We had a go long at 36.68. I'm on that at 36.69. So I'm in right now. I'm in two. I'm in AOL and FSLR. And let me just take a look at FSLR. We've got quite a number here. We must have a pretty strong up market here because normally we don't have this many on the panel out of the gate. And FSLR, I'm in that at $33. I'm already out of my first target on this one. AOL, I'm out of my first and second targets on AOL. And I pull my stop loss to break even. So on the remaining, I have 600 shares I have left. It's a no loss trade. Just let that ride. This is Yuri. This is number 1 on our panel. It's moving up nicely. I didn't get on that one. UNXL. Didn't get on that one either. However, I am on AOL. I'm in this one at 36.69. Netflix. So far, we've got a pretty strong opening market. And I'm also on FSLR. Now that one's backing up on me, and I got stopped out on this one here at break even. And all that happened on this one, it went up to 33.20, a little over 33.20. Just enough to get me out of my first target. I didn't get out of my second one. So, and when the price dropped back here, I got taken out at break even. Okay, I've got an order to buy to go long on INVN if it breaks the high of the day here at 15.29. And this one's working out terrifically. Not very often you see this happen, but wow, you're seeing it in real time. I'm already through, already hit my first two targets, and I pull my stop loss to break even. This is really having a nice run up. INVN, I'm in INVN at 1530. Okay, I'm just going to put this back on pause again, and we'll see what happens here. Oh, let me just check my AOL. AOL, as you can see, is number one on the hit parade here. Doing very well on AOL. And what I've done here too is I've pulled my stop loss to, I always pull my stop loss up to one below the prior candle. So I got my stop loss set right now at 36.83. So I've got about 15 cents locked in on my remaining 600 shares. I'm out of my first 400 shares. So I've got a nice little profit adding up here on this one here. One thing I don't like about this is you can see it's gapping away from the 8 EMA line, getting a little bit of exhaustion as it runs up here. So it's customary for it to pull back a little bit. I got a target on my last 600. It's $1 above my entry price, but if it starts to gap up here and any more than this, I might be inclined just to sell my remaining 600 shares and perhaps take a profit, an early profit on this thing. I'm already up about 60 cents or so, 60, 70 cents. And as you can see, it's starting to really gap up over the 8 EMA line. Going back on pause. I've also got an order in on deck. Right now I got an order in to buy at 45.06, but I expect that purchase price, that buy price is going to drop back down. We're at 9.49 right now, so probably get it down to maybe the high of this bar here, hopefully. But I've got an order in on deck. I got an order in at 45.05, which is way up here, but we'll see. I'd probably lower that buy price. Okay, now, okay, as soon as this bar was formed here, the entry price, the buy price was dropped to 44.87. I got on at 44.88. It's a little bit confusing, a little bit erratic trying to trade and to do this movie at the same time, but so far it's working out pretty good for me. And here we go. I just sold my remaining 600 shares of AOL. Got my dollar target on the last part of my shares. I'm sorry. Nice start to the morning. On INVN, I'm still in this at from 1530. I'm out of my first two targets, as I've said earlier. And what I've done here is I pull my stop loss on my remaining 600 shares to 1557, one below this candle here. So I've got approximately 30 cents locked in on my remaining shares. And the other one that I'm in is DEC. I got in DEC at 44.88, and I'm also out of my first two targets on DEC, and I pull my stop loss to 44.80. Well, my stop loss right now is at break even, so this is a no loss trade on my remaining 600 shares as well. I'm already out of my first two targets, so I made some money on it already. Go back on pause. So you can see the number one selection on the panel right now is NFLX, Netflix. It was earlier today. It gave a buy signal up here someplace. I think it jumped up maybe $1 or so. This one's a little too pricey for me, and I'm happy just playing with the $20 or $30 or $40 stocks. Typically I have a $50 plateau for my own personal trading, and I do very well in that price range. I don't have to venture out into these. We missed BZH, excuse me, Beezer. We had that one on watch early. That one's had a nice rise. It just looks like a big rise. It's really only about a 20-cent rise, but it just looks. FSLR has been bouncing around. I was on this one earlier and I got taken out. I think I made about $20 on this one before I got taken out at break even. UNNXL. Just go through some of these. NTAP, we got to buy, excuse me. NTAP, we got a go long signal at 108. No, wait, that's WHR. Sorry, where was an NTAP? I lost it. NTAP, got a buy signal here. Moody's been bouncing around a little bit. MCO. Okay, I'm going back on pause, and then I'm going to check my holdings that I have. Okay, I just got taken out of deck here at break even. I sold my first two targets, and I made $70 on the first two targets, and I had my stop loss at break even on my remaining shares. And this big red candle pullback here took me out at break even on the remaining 600 shares. I just wanted to show you this here. As soon as it took me out of here, whipped me out. This happens a lot to a lot of traders, not only to me, but this is good. Good to see for the purpose of this video. It's right now. It's at the top of the go long on the panel. Go long at 45.19, which is actually the break of this candle right up here. It's got a lot of room to go, but chances are we might get another buy signal here at the top, close to the top of perhaps one of these interim candles, and I might just take it again. We'll see. I'm getting close to getting taken out of my trade on INVN. I've got a sell target in at one below the prior candle at 15.59. Trying to find it here on the panel. Obviously, when it's not here on the panel, it means that it's no longer in the buy territory. So I'm going to go down here and see if I can find it very quickly. Okay, I'm going to put it on pause while I'm looking. Or am I on pause? Okay, here it is right down here. Now you wouldn't have to do this actually, because you'd have your own charts open like I do. I've got charts on the side here that you can't see, and I'm watching it on my other chart. Now I just lost it here again, but safe to say, just take my word for it. It is it very close. It missed me by I think a penny or 2 pennies there. It didn't take me out. It's bouncing around. I'll try to find the chart and show you. All right, I'm sorry. I was a little confused there. This is getting a little nerve-wracking. Here's the chart on INVN, and as you can see, what I do is I pull my stop loss up to one below the prior candle, and it came very close to taking me out here. It missed me by 1 penny on that last candle. So I'm still in this. I still have my remaining 600 shares on INVN, doing very well on a $15 stock. And having a dollar target on a $15 stock is might be a little unrealistic, but I'm just going to let it go. I've had a very good morning here so far, and we'll see what happens. This one had a run up to the high so far was 15.96. Here's one that I watched a little earlier today. I think the buy, if I remember correctly, I think it was right around here someplace we got the buy signal, the go long, 63.60 or so, about $1.50 ago, and I got a little bit of analysis paralysis myself right here because it was over my $50 range, although I have taken stocks like up to $100 from time to time. This one I didn't. Okay, I just got stopped at, well, not just, but during that pause in the action there, as you can see on INVN, the price came down here, took out the low of this candle here. This big red bar took out that, and that's where my stop loss was, right there at 15.59. So I made 29 cents on the remaining 600 shares of INVN, and I made approximately 240 some odd dollars on this trade. So doing pretty good this morning. It's only 40 minutes into the session. and I'm almost at my target for the, or my quota for the day. Okay, I'm going to put this back on pause. Okay, just to summarize what's happened so far this morning, I have 4 trades in. I had one home run, what I call the home run, when it hits the all 3 targets are made, and I hit the dollar target. That's my home run trade, grand slam trade, whatever you want to call it. And I had that was AOL. Then I had INVN. I did well on, and I had the 2 others. I hit my first target, I think, on both of those. First and second target on deck, and first target on FSLR, and then it backed up on me to break even. The point is, the nice feature is I had 4 trades, and none of them were losers so far. At least I made a little bit on those other 2 trades that backed up on me. And that's one of the keys, the way we trade, and that's all explained in the on the website. The members all have access to the rules and regulations and all that type of thing. Okay, I'm going back on pause here. I'm going to be a little less aggressive, I haven't really been aggressive at all, but on any future trades here, I certainly don't want to give back any of the profits. I'm looking at Lulu right now. I kind of like that one, and WHR, I think, well, let's see, Lulu. We're kind of limited. As you can see now, the number of buy signals here has kind of dwindled, and this is when it's really a little easier to manage what's going on. We've only got 3 buy signals here so far: FSLR, WHR, Lulu. Oh wait, here's another one down here. This is one that CRR. This one can really move when it wants to. I've made money on this one before, even though it's an $85 stock. Excuse me. Okay, back on pause. Okay, I've got a buy order in on Lulu at the break of this candle right here. Where was Lulu? I've got a go long. It's giving me a go long signal here, as you can see, above 68.40. I got my buy in at 68.41, and I've only got 200 shares on this one, and I've got a tight stop loss. My stop loss is 1 below the signal what I call the signal candle at 68.31. So I got a 10-cent loss on 200 shares. The most I got at risk, if it doesn't work out, is going to be like $20 or $25 on this trade if it triggers. Okay, I'm in Lulu at the break of this candle here. I get on at 68.38. And I've got a stop loss 1 below this candle, 68.26, so I got a whole 12 cents at risk. Only got 200 shares, so we'll just see what happens. It's 10:26 in the morning. That's 10:26 Eastern Standard Time. We're 1 hour into today's trading session. Probably going to wish that I had taken more than 200 shares on Lulu. Let's hope so. Just wanted to show AOL. No, it's not showing up on there. Okay, that's the only one that I have so far. And it's probably going to be the only one that I take unless I really see something interesting. Hang on, let me look at Yuri. I like Yuri. Z always reminds me of snooze time. This is Zillow. It's had a nice run so far. IOC is another one that's very interesting. All right, let me put this on pause instead of me talking to myself, and then we'll come back and we'll check in again. Okay, here's Lulu. As you can see, it didn't work as planned. I think it only went up about 15-20 cents or so. And when I have only 200 shares, like on this one, which I did have, I don't scale out. I just hold on to the reduced share size and just let it ride up, if it is going to ride up. And I also have a 3-minute time rule on these as well. If I don't get at least a 10-cent or 15-cent price move, depending on the share size, on the price, I'll eject at the market. On this one here, if you recall, I had my stop loss set at 1 below this entry candle here. My stop loss was 68.26. I was in at 38. I lost 12 cents on the trade. I lost $24. This is my first loss of the day. Keeping my following my philosophy or my trading rule to the. I'm very strict about following my rules. And anytime you can keep, this is the first loss of the day, and it's a $24 loss. Maximize your gains and keep your losses to a minimum. Okay, I just wanted to show you this one here for illustration purposes. I didn't get on this one, but just to show why I play my stop loss, the low of a prior bar. This is a classic example. As you can see, going all the way up here, all of these candles, how many was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 12 candles straight up. None broke the low of a prior bar, except the first one that did was right here. So if I had been on that, my stop loss would have been at 50.26, one below this candle right here. And I would have been able to ride it up from the break of this candle, 49.31 to, I already forgot what I said up here. But anyway, a nice dollar, I think $1 or so rise up here on Coinstar. But I missed that one. I wasn't on it. I'm not even sure if it gave a buy signal back here, but I just happened to be going through. I see here it gives the sell signal, CSTR. It's giving a sell signal at 50.27. It's telling you to get out here. But you really don't need that sell signal, you know, to get out if you're playing it that way. Okay, this is IOC that I'm watching right now. And I've got an order in on it to buy at the high. Right now I've got an order in at 65.11, which is the high of this, the break of the high of this bar here. I suspect that I may get a lower entry price, a lower signal here. Right now IOC is moving up kind of nice. It's in fourth spot as far as favorites are concerned at this particular time. It's got 108 points. I don't know if I've already mentioned that. If you find me repeating myself here, I'm making this video for training purposes as well, and I'm not that proficient really in making this. It's a cam studio setup here, and sometimes I'll have it on pause and sometimes I won't. So if you find me repeating myself, it's because I went back, like just that last time, I realized I had it on pause when I was talking about FSLR here. But I'll just go over that again. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself and I didn't have it on pause. But in any event, FSLR, as you can see, is number 1 here in the panel. We got a go long signal at 33.60. If FSLR is very strong today, it's already up $1 or so already though. If it breaks the high of the day, it could get some momentum and continue moving upwards. Okay, now as each candle forms, the entry price drops to the high of the preceding candle. So as you can see on IOAC here, where is it here? The go long signal is at 64.83. And on IOC, normally on these higher price ones, I'll only go 200 shares like I did on Lulu. But I kind of like IOC a lot better than I did Lulu. And I'm going to go with 500 shares. And I'll probably scale out. Well, I won't probably. I am going to scale out on those 500 shares and take some profits along the way up if it makes the move as planned. As you can see, IOC has fallen out of favor here. Whoops, I just lost it. It's there it is right here. IOC has given me a caution reading, so I'm going to take that off my list for now. All right. Well, as it happens, IOC came back on the list. What's happening in the background is that, if you haven't had a chance to look at the website, is the logarithms. It's a computer program. The logarithms are running in the background. Oh, excuse me, I got something in my throat here. MCO right now is at the top of the list. If you're wondering how these points are established and how these stocks are getting to the top of the list, go to the website. It explains that all under methods and philosophy, how the algorithms, how the computer program is running in the background. The algorithms are calculating all of the features. They only deal with, I shouldn't say only, but it deals primarily with the price, the volume, moving averages, the ATR, the volatility, the short interest ratio, the fundamentals part of it, the basics. They don't deal with any lagging indicators whatsoever. So what you're getting here is forward-looking action. What the computer program predicts what could happen in the short term. And that's very important for day traders. As day traders, we don't care what might happen or what has happened in the past and what might happen tomorrow or next week or month or whatever. We want to know what's going to happen in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And that's what this program does tell you. These are the predictions that it's making, that the computer is making as it's running the algorithms in the background. And that's what these point counts indicate. Okay, MCO got a lot of volume today, right behind FSLR. FSLR is another one that's it's been on the top in the top 5 for most of the morning. ESI has been there too. Coinstar. Now I just lost MCO. WHR. Coinstar just triggered. WHR. Amazon's up there too. That's out of my price range. MCO, okay, this is the one that I was talking about that I'm interested in, and I got an order in on this one here at 46.84, one above this prior green candle here. Okay, I got triggered on MCO at 46.84, and I got my stop loss is 46.71, and I've got my timer going here. I've been in this trade approximately 3 minutes already. My rule of thumb is that if the trade doesn't show at least a 10-cent move in the first 3 minutes, then I should, my rule is to eject the trade at the market. I've given it a little bit longer. In this one here, I actually put in 4 minutes. But we'll see what happens. Right now, it's sort of struggling to do anything. And the most I've got at risk, I got 500 shares. I've got, $60, $70 at risk here on this one here. Let's see what, I'm just going to put it back on pause. There's my beeper telling me to get out. And I ejected out of this trade at the market here. I lost 4 cents on this. I lost $20 on this trade. Okay, that's it for this session. Not very exciting maybe to some people, but it was exciting enough for me. I made. I'm not going to get into what I made, but I think if you followed along through this, you can pretty well get the idea. I came very close to my very close to my daily quota, my daily profit target, and made money on AOL. In retrospect, I was just looking back at AOL. I don't know if I can find it here or not. It doesn't matter, but you can check yourself. It did hit a high of $38.89. It was up about $2.20 over the entry price, but I made $1 on it. I'm happy with that. The other one that I made money on was good money on was INVN. That one was at least a triple. Let's put it that way. Not a home run, but a double or a triple. And I had 2 small losers. I had 6 trades in total, 4 winners, 2 small losers. One was a $24 loser. The last one, MCO, was a $20 loser. So that's it. If you're interested, we've got a 7-day free trial that you can try for yourself and see how it works for you before joining up and becoming a member. But limited time openings, I only got so many seats available. So if you're interested, Try to sign up. Go to the website and sign up for your free trial. And we'll see you later. Good luck.